Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. There's a blizzard going on the East Coast, right? That's what they call it. It's not what I call it. I call it snowing. Whatever. We have the winter 12th annual National Winter Bug-Out Bag Exercise coming up. We're going to have about 30 people sleeping out in the woods in the winter. But we call it the National Winter Bug-Out Bag Exercise because even if you can't come to our version of it, you can do a version yourself. You can go pick a patch of woods like this and go camping it that same weekend and then write up your lessons learned, do your after-action review, figure out what went right, what went wrong, and learn from it, right? Go with some friends. There's always a park or national forest or state forest or somewhere that you can go. And you know what? If not, go in your backyard. Just go camp in your backyard. Don't cheat. And if you do cheat, if you have to come in the house, then write down why you had to come in the house so you remember it, so that you can change that for the next year and continually get better. And what I'd like to do in this video is give you some tips for sleeping warm in the cold. And because there are some things that I have learned over the years that will definitely help you. Let's see. Number one, good sleeping bags, they can't be beat, right? Get a good sleeping bag. We have found over the years many people have brought tents to our bug-out bag campout. And tents just don't work that great. They really don't. What works a lot better is a tarp. And if I wasn't quite as sick, I would actually set up a little campsite here for you. But you can go back and search on my video channel, Camping with PJF or something like that, and you can see tarp setups. And you know how to set up a tarp, right? Like a lean-to. A lean-to with a fire in front of it, and then like a wall made out of green or wet logs or rocks, which we happen to have a lot of in the Ozarks, behind that, so that the heat comes up, and then this wall behind it reflects the heat back towards where you're laying or sitting in your little lean-to. Or in fact, you can make a natural shelter and then reinforce it with a tarp, things like that. That helps a lot. So then you need to lay in a really good supply of firewood before you go to sleep at night so that you don't have to go stumbling around in the dark for more wood. You can just kind of half wake up and throw another piece of wood on the fire. Some other things about sleeping warm in a cold environment. Carry a t-shirt. The military used to call them sleep shirts, but whatever. Carry a t-shirt that you don't wear during the day. And right before you go to sleep, even if you think you're dry and not perspiring or perspirated, go ahead and change your t-shirt, men and women. Because whether you know it or not, there is perspiration in your old t-shirt, and that will get cold when you sleep. And so put on a dry shirt. Put on dry socks. You should have a pair of socks that you wear just for sleeping, or you can put tomorrow's socks on, today, if you have that many socks tonight, and sleep in dry socks. Same reason. Your socks have perspiration in them, and your feet are going to get cold. When you build your, if you're going to do a tent site, or you're going to do a lean-to, you should make a bed where you're going to lay. I know you have a sleeping pad. You should make a bed of leaves. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit out of breath. You should make a bed of leaves about 2 feet high. 2 feet high is not too high if you could scrape it. Now, starting out here with snow already on the ground makes it a little bit more problematic. But you can do it. Hush, dog. Go find a rabbit. Go on. But a big deep bed of leaves. So if you're going to sleep somewhere in your tent, you have a tent, put the leaves down first and then lay the tent over it. You'll have a little hump there. Lay your sleeping mat on that, and then put your sleeping bag on top of that. You'll sleep a lot warmer because you get cold. The ground is cold. I mean, duh, right? Look at it. But having a big pad of leaves will help you. And then in the morning, if you could fluff that bed up or add to it, that'll keep you warm the next night. Another thing is to limit your intake of fluids for a couple hours before you go to bed, because what you don't want to do, your sleeping bag doesn't generate heat, right? You generate the heat, and so you warm that whole little cocoon up, your sleeping bag or your roll of blankets or whatever you're using, And if you have to get out of that to go pee in the middle of the night, that, you know, all that warm air comes out and it gets replaced by cold air. And so try not to have to get up and pee. Some people take a bottle in their sleeping bag, men, I guess, and they pee in the bottle so they don't have to get out. I've never done that. I just suck it up, get out, go pee, come back. Have my shoes somewhere where I can put them on quickly. Right before you go to, when you get out of your sleeping bag in the middle of the night, don't just unzip it, flap it open, and go tromping off into the woods. Get out of your sleeping bag and quickly close it. It's like the door, right? Your mom says, what are you going to do, heat all of Arkansas or whatever? Go ahead and get out of your sleeping bag and close your sleeping bag again. You don't have to zip it, but close it so it holds that heat in there that you put in there. Right before you go to sleep, I like to do it when I'm in bed. As soon as I get into my bed, I eat some high calorie snack, like a granola bar, or usually that's what I eat, granola bar. But, you know, a Pop-Tart would work, something like that. Because what happens is as that's digesting in your stomach while you're laying there in your bed, it creates calories and it heats up your body. And so digestion helps keep you warm. And so that's another tip to do. I learned this trick from a guy, you know, cotton kills, right? You're out here in cotton, you're going to die. Maybe. I mean, yes, sort of. I know, comments, right? But hey, here's the reality. I learned this trick from a guy who lives in southern Louisiana, but he's on a quest to climb the tallest peak in every state, and he knows something about ice and snow and cold and living out there. He carries a big hoodie, you know, just a big sweatshirt with a hood. Yeah, it's made out of cotton, but man, those things are warm when you sleep at night. You put that thing on, and see, unlike a hat keeps falling off for me, and you know, I don't have a lot up there. That's why I wear hats. But if you wear a hoodie when you go to sleep, it keeps all the heat trapped around your head and neck, which is nice. Do not put your mouth inside your sleeping bag, as cold as it is. Last year at the Bob camp out, I think it got down to 7 degrees at night. Don't put your face inside your sleeping bag. You have to have your face outside so that all your moist air goes into the air, not into your bag, which is then going to soak your bag and make it that much less effective. If it's so cold, you know, like 7 degrees, 0 degrees, 25 below or something, you can take like a towel or something and wrap it over your face and breathe into that. The towel will get wet. You can hang the towel up the next day. Excuse me. And let it air out and dry out and things like that. What else about sleeping warm? I think that's about it. You know, if you do those things, you should be okay. Like I said, we've had many winter experiences with children and women and pregnant women, and you know, they all did fine. And you'll do fine too. You just have to get out there and do it. I mean, this looks daunting to some people. It's like, oh man, I could never go out there. Actually, you can. You know, you can come out here and live, and you can thrive, actually. And the way you learn to do that is by doing a little bit of research, like watching this video, reading some books, watching other videos, and then going out there and doing it. Right? Go do it. Go do it yourself. And that's why I encourage you on the weekend of 15 February. That's like a national holiday weekend. We're doing it 11 through 14. Go on out, test your gear, test your bug out bag. All right, I'll see you out there.